In the 11th century, in Malwa, India, there was a most glorious emperor, King Bhoja. While he and his soldiers were traveling to expand their kingdom, they noticed something unusual about a certain farmland. When they excavated it, they discovered a magnificent golden throne. As Bhoja Raja began to ascend the throne, unaware of the true heir's greatness, one among the 32 guardians of that royal throne, the first Salabhanjika, warned him that stepping onto it without knowledge of its rightful owner's glory was dangerous. She then began to narrate a story to Bhoja Raja. Long ago, in the kingdom of Pataliputra, in the city of Patalipura, there lived a young Brahman celibate named Vidyasagra. True to his name, he was like an ocean of all arts and knowledge. From childhood itself, Vidyasagra had worked hard to master the fundamental sciences. To gain supreme knowledge, he set out on a pilgrimage in search of a worthy guru. During his travels, he reached a forest at the foothills of a mountain. Tired, he quenched his thirst by drinking the pure water of a stream in Chola. With his thirst relieved, he sat down under the shade of a great banyan tree and fell asleep. Atop that banyan tree dwelt a Brahma Rakshasa, deeply immersed in meditation, who had once been a divine sage but was reborn in this form. When the Brahma Rakshasa opened his eyes and saw the young Brahman sleeping beneath, he was amazed. The youth soon awoke and beheld the radiant face of the Brahma Rakshasa shining with divinity. The Brahma Rakshasa blessed Vidyasagra and asked him his purpose. The young Brahman narrated his life story and revealed the aim of his travels. I have set out to learn the higher knowledge I have not yet mastered. You who have appeared before me clearly possess the power to teach me these sciences. I see you as my guru. Hearing the sincerity in his words, the Brahma Rakshasa was moved with compassion. He agreed to teach him all the knowledge he possessed, but set certain conditions. Vidyasagra must stay with him for 28 weeks, abstaining completely from food and water. To survive hunger and thirst, he would be taught a divine mantra. If he endured, he would gain wondrous and extraordinary knowledge. Vidyasagra accepted. Guru and disciple climbed to the top of the huge banyan tree, where the Guru taught him the sciences one by one, while the student absorbed them into his heart. After 28 weeks, Vidyasagra had mastered everything, and with reverence he took leave of his Guru. But his body, weakened by the austerity, began to show signs of exhaustion. Yet with firm resolve, he continued his journey and eventually reached the land of Kalinga late at night. Weary, he collapsed at the steps of a grand palace, using a cloth as a pillow, and fell into deep sleep. At that time, Anandavalli, a renowned palace dancer of that land, was returning with her companions after visiting a temple. Seeing the handsome but frail young Brahman sleeping by her doorstep, she felt compassion and affection for him. Despite trying, she could not wake him. Together with her companions, she carried him inside. As he did not awaken, they summoned a famous physician. The doctor declared that the youth was critically weak from months without food and water and would die without immediate care. Under the physician's treatment and Anandavalli's careful nursing, Vidyasagra slowly regained health. Once he had fully recovered, he prepared to leave, carrying his belongings. But Anandavalli stopped him. Please do not abandon me. Remember, I am the one who saved you from death and gave you new life. My only wish is that you marry me. It is your duty towards me. Yet even without a word of gratitude, you attempt to flee. No, I will not allow it. You must take the right decision. But the Brahman youth refused. I cannot marry you. You are a Shudra woman and I am a Brahman. Tradition demands that before marrying one of your caste, I must first wed women from the other 3 Varnas. I am still unmarried. Anandavalli would not accept his reasoning. Their disagreement turned into a serious matter and she appealed to the king for justice. A stalwart scholar was summoned who judged that the Brahman's argument was correct according to traditional dharma. The king accepted the verdict and recognized Vidyasagra as a noble and honorable man. He then declared, "O members of this royal court, we must fulfill the wish of this Brahman youth. Therefore, I decree that the daughter of the Kalinga king, the daughter of my minister, and the daughter of the chief merchant shall all be given in marriage to Vidyasagra. In the same ceremony, Anandavalli too shall be wedded to him." Thus, Vidyasagra was married to 4 brides: Kalavati, the princess of Kalinga; Malati, the minister's daughter; Sumangala, the merchant's daughter; and Anandavalli, the palace dancer. He lived happily in Kalinga with them. Kalavati, his chief queen, bore him a son named Vararuchi. Malati gave birth to Vikramaditya. Sumangala bore a son named Bhatti. Anandavalli bore a son named Bhartrihari. In time, when the Kalinga king grew old and infirm, he passed on the throne to his son-in-law Vidyasagra. After the king's death, Vidyasagra ruled the kingdom with justice, upholding the principle Dharma alone triumphs. His reign was marked by fairness, prosperity, and wisdom. Vidyasagra, also known as Samudragupta, became a great emperor. When he grew old and ill, Vidyasagra summoned his 4 sons and revealed his final wish. "All the fortune and happiness of my life has been because of Anandavalli. Therefore, her son Bhartrihari shall inherit the kingdom first. The rest of you shall rule in succession." The sons agreed. Vidyasagra crowned Bhartrihari as king and granted princely titles to the other 3. Soon after, Vidyasagra passed away. After Bhartrihari's reign, his elder brother Vararuchi renounced worldly life and became an ascetic. Bhartrihari too, heartbroken by betrayal from his beloved queen, renounced all pleasures, abandoned the throne, and lived the rest of his life as a yogi in Ujjain. Then Vikramaditya, Vidyasagra's 3rd son, ascended the throne. Born of a Kshatriya mother, he appointed his younger brother Bhatti as minister. Vikramaditya began administrative reforms and established his reign. Thus begins the legendary tales of the world-famous Emperor Vikramaditya. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share to support the channel. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. Don't forget to. From your own Bhagwati.